Hey everybody, this is Dan.
And this is Ron.
And
it's Matt.
And we're back with part 2 of what we now found out is 4 parts.
Yeah, we had the three main features, and they introduced
2 of 4 out of 3 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
They just told us that there's going to be a 4th bonus feature for those of us that stick around. Woohoo!
It's
Let's see how our health is holding.
what time is it even? It's almost midnight, and we got 2 more movies to go.
But the movies are all like an hour long, so
That's true.
Yeah. This next one is an
They said
hour.
it was a 4th mystery feature, so for all I know, they're showing like the complete 6-hour Ingmar Bergman scenes from a marriage. Like, we don't know what it is. But we do know what the movie we just watched was.
Oh yeah,
And
1936, Dracula's Daughter.
Directed by a guy's name I just looked up on Wikipedia and
Lambert
subsequently forgot.
Hillyer.
Okay.
Good old Lambert.
He went on to big things, clearly, that I remember.
I mean, it was beautifully shot.
It was very well shot. It was pretty well made. There was a lot of homoerotic subtext for 1936 going on here.
Oh, Lambert Hillyer was also playing the lead,
Oh,
I think.
I think so. Yeah, that sure looks like him.
Oh,
So I guess we
No.
were talking a lot before. What were your thoughts about this movie, Ron?
I was asleep for most of it. But I liked the first 20 minutes or so. Well, it was interesting with Frankenstein. You were talking about how tight it was. So I had that in mind as we were watching it, and I was observing how not tight it was.
Yeah, this was a much slower moving movie. There's a lot more stuff where they're just indoors talking.
Yeah, there was a lot of exposition at the beginning.
But I mean, there's a lot more thematically going on, I think, in this than
Yeah.
Frankenstein. So the lead actress in this was Gloria Holden, and she's playing Countess Zaleska, who, spoiler, is actually Dracula's daughter.
And they say it at least 6 times in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
once somebody says the name of the movie, there's like, Dracula's daughter? Wait, Dracula's daughter? Dracula... And so I remember the name of the movie really well.
Did you ever find out how she became Dracula's daughter, though?
No, because it's 1936. They can't have a full-on sex scene.
No, but I mean, was it through...
I mean, it's just kind of implied.
She was
It's-
conceived?
right? Like, do you ever see Big Daddy with Adam Sandler? Like they don't show Adam Sandler like having sex.
What I mean is, he didn't just bite her and then decide, you're my daughter?
Could be. I don't know.
How did a 500-year-old creature have a human daughter?
Probably there's someone listening at home who's just yelling at their computer right now because they're like, you guys don't know anything about this movie. 113 over 69. That's really good.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 82 on the pulse.
Oh, that's good.
So that shows that this movie was objectively less scary than Frankenstein.
Well, we still haven't checked mine.
And yet-
I just ate some chicken tenders.
And yet
so
I think
Lord
that
only
the
knows.
homoerotic content should have raised my blood pressure
It might have raised mine.
more. I don't know.
Well, you're a little jaded with that stuff, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
But this movie made me want to have a goth girlfriend again. Because Countess Zaleska is she's very goth. She's very tortured. She's got a little chemistry with this psychiatrist guy in it. But it's really all about her attraction to it's his secretary, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And there's a famous scene in this movie where she invites her up she wants to paint the young girl's portrait, the young woman's portrait. And she says, I paint women... What's the line again? It was a good line. I paint women's neck and shoulders, so would you mind taking off your blouse? And then, of
And
course...
she's so smooth when she says it. Like,
Yeah.
I was envious.
And then she hypnotizes her with her ring, and then it's implied that she, assaults her in some way. I think that's more or less what happens. And I was reading that the original script of this called for actually nude posing. And then there was a pressure put on the filmmakers, and we can't have the implication.
Right, and we didn't get to see that until Titanic. So these are okay. I got some weird numbers.
Oh shit!
I got 150 over 88 with 85.
150. Oh man, that's not good.
Yeah, that's a really high systolic. The diastolic is high
It went
too.
down though. It went down
Yeah.
6 points on the diastolic, and that went down 16.
I mean, maybe you were more affected by this than you thought.
Maybe.
It definitely ends strong. You know, there's a lot of
action,
drama. All the characters kind of, end up showing like what they really want. And the only thing that's not really believable there is that I guess Countess Zaleska really wants to be with that dude.
Right.
And she's just using the woman as a bait to get him out there to the
But
castle.
we all know what's really going on.
Oh God! I mean, the only time this movie has
and
its
the
heart
dude
in it,
is like, they could not have picked an uglier dude.
he's
like,
really boring.
He's really boring, and,
Yeah.
and he's like the woman that the guy's gonna get, like the husband, the guy that the woman's gonna get married to in a screwball comedy, right? Like the woman that like a Claudette Colbert is supposed to marry at the beginning of the movie. They're always like the human equivalent of Melba Toast, and it was this guy, except he had like the Igor looks too.
Yeah. Sander, right? The henchman.
Mm-hmm.
The henchman who was just like over it. I don't know. There's a lot in the Wikipedia here. This is a very, very long and detailed thing that we probably should have read, although it's full of spoilers.
Well, we don't even know what the last movie we're going to talk about is.
No.
This is
No, we can't really do research for that.
Well, we know what do we have next? Is it The Mummy that's next, or is that tomorrow?
No, it's the Murders of the Rue Morgue.
Okay.
Anyway, but I think Dracula's Daughter is most well known for being one of the early examples of the lesbian vampire trope, right? And she's pretty tragic in this thing because, like, it starts out with her feeling like afflicted in some way by who she is. Like, she feels like she's been cursed by her father's. Yeah, so there's this sort of implication that she wants to rid herself of her desire for blood, right?
right. Which is also her sexual desire for the same
Young
sex.
women. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
same sex, different age.
And probably, I guess, the most famous line in this movie, which I assume comes from this movie. If someone asks her if she wants some wine, she says, she goes, "I don't drink wine." Yeah. So there's definitely some camp going on here. We also read that James Whale was originally supposed to direct it. They wanted him to direct it because he was hot coming off of The Bride of Frankenstein. But I don't know. Just the visual style of it was really cool, I thought.
And I was kind of wondering, actually, like, how do they decide with these Universal monster movies if it's passive or active phrasing, right? Because like, Dracula's Daughter versus Bride of Frankenstein, like, what determines the designation? Probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
Probably nothing of any significance.
No,
It's
probably,
interesting,
probably not even worth wondering about.
right? Why, if it was called Frankenstein's Bride?
Well, so did she drink blood? She didn't in the first 20 minutes of the movie because that's what I
they
saw.
don't show it, but they say that victims were found with needle mark or like pinprick size tooth marks or whatever, on their necks.
Right.
And that's of course what happens to the young woman, and is that she's been drained of blood. But one of the funnier things is in that seduction scene in the art studio. She says, "Oh, your hands are so pale and bloodless." So she's already a little disappointed with the girl she's brought home to suck blood out of.
If there's no blood there, that's like it's a bad sign.
But I don't know. Within context, if a goth woman says to another woman like, "Oh, you're so pale and bloodless," like, I would think that would also be a compliment. But I guess.
Well, right, but like I knew a fair number of goth women back in the day, but I don't think any of them like actually drank blood.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, also what I did see is that the woman who plays the Countess in this or whatever, she thought she was better than vampire movies. She didn't want to make horror movies, and she had already seen that Bela Lugosi had been typecast after Dracula. So she kind of had contempt for the role and for the whole genre, and it actually works for the movie because she just doesn't want to be a vampire.
Right.
She's like, "Fuck this,"
I don't know if she got typecast as anything. I don't remember her being in any other movies.
You know how I know this is gold? Ron is falling asleep while he's recording it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're trying to bring a little bit of the experience of watching the movie home to you.
Right.
I don't think there's a more concrete way we could do that than by putting Ron to sleep. So,
well, we gotta wake up.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Excuse me.
You're welcome to the audience, or to me?
My blood pressure's a little.
To the audience.
My blood pressure's a little low. I was wondering if you had any nicotine.
Yeah, my blood pressure. I should eat some vegetables in the morning.
I should get some. Does No-Dose still exist? Is it starting? So we just got a message from the people running this that we're going to be back on film. So
we're going to have a dimmer image.
Yeah, we've been spoiled by Blu-ray for 1.5 features now.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, that was
So we're going to have one planned movie, or one movie we were told about, which is an hour and 1 minute long.
And then one movie that's been foisted upon us.
Yeah, against our will.
And if I don't drop dead by the end of the fourth movie, if I keep it at the 150 over 88, we'll be back.
I'm guessing it's got to be a Universal horror film, though, right? Like, why would they?
Well, until you just jinxed it.
You don't think it's going to be a Universal horror
I think it's going to be like Pee-wee's Big Adventure or something. I don't know. That's what I would do in this situation, but I also, no one has ever trusted me with this kind of operation, probably for a reason.
Yeah, what would be your choice for the special secret feature?
Waterworld with Kevin Costner.
Oh my God!
I had a DVD of that in the other day. And
I've never seen that, but I've seen the Universal Studios stunt show where they.
It just looks like a beautiful train wreck.
The stunt show is pretty amazing.
What's that?
They recreate scenes from Waterworld in a big water arena, and there's explosions and stuff.
Oh man, so it's like Shamu with all humans.
10 minutes.
Didn't they just tell us it'll be 10 minutes 5 minutes ago?
Time is dilating.
So now we're let's see. They're showing something, like a short feature.
Oh, let's take a look. All right, so
What's a cartoon?
Okay.
We'll catch you after the third feature.
After the third. Right.
I like how we're pretending it's
adoring fans.
streaming live to people who are waiting to hear what happens at the drive-in.
Yeah, I
they already know what the fourth feature is.
If
we don't.
If you're listening to this, clearly you're more invested in what happened to us several weeks ago than whatever's going on in your life, and that's fine. And we're here for you. We'll be back in probably an hour in your time, probably about 10 seconds, 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And speaking of people.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of people listening, I just want to say a shout out to our buddy Ludilka. Thank you very much for your concern. So here we are, we're back. This is the first recording. I know we dropped 2 episodes that we had previously recorded, but this is our first recording after you asked how we were doing.
Also, and as soon as you asked me how I was doing, my blood pressure apparently shot up. So thank you.
Also, we're talking to people in the future right now.
We are.
Congratulations on wearing a mask. Using hand sanitizer, you made it.
Yay.
We're not sure if we made it yet, but
pandemic's over.
Clearly you made it.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this.
They haven't figured out a way to give you monkeypox over the radio, so this is probably the only safe thing you can actually do with your time for the foreseeable. So we're coming out with new episodes. We'll be back in 20 seconds with our recap of the third feature, which I can't remember what the
Murders of the Rue Morgue.
Okay. So until then, Avita Zang.
All right.
Bye.